Hello. As you can see and probably hear, I ain't feeling great today. So I'm just gonna sit here and drink my hot water with honey and lemon and just kind of catch you guys up with what I've been doing recently, some general life updates. Nothing elaborate because I just did not have the strength to plan anything for this week's video, so here we are. Oh, by the way, real quick, if you haven't already, then please do subscribe, and if you enjoy this video, then give it a like when you finish watching, blah blah blah. Okay, back to the show. So I guess one of the things that's taken up most of my time recently is the speech contest that 2 students at my school entered. So I'll talk you through my experience in working with them on that, because it's not unlikely that you might have to deal with similar contests and stuff with students at your school. Basically, there's 2 parts to the contest. First, they have to write their speech and submit that, and then there's the speech giving part of the contest as well, of course. So I had 2 students enter. They were both second years, and I didn't even hear about the contest until they'd already sort of written a draft of what their speech would be. And my JTE came to me to ask if I could help and stuff. I mean, she asked, but like, I'm the native English speaker, so I think it's just kind of assumed that I'm going to help out with that kind of thing, you know? I'm not complaining, I was happy to help, but yeah. Obviously there was a lot of like grammar and stuff that wasn't quite right, and their vocabulary is so limited to a certain degree. I've spoken to ALTs who have had students enter speech contests before, and they have a lot of experience with it. And it seems like for some kids the ALT is basically writing their speeches for them, and I just think it kind of varies from school to school to what degree they help, if you know what I mean. So I try to keep my students' essays as much their words as possible. I obviously fixed all of their grammar and stuff so that it made English sense. But there were definitely a few places where I thought like, oh, this isn't quite getting the point across, or I know what you're trying to say, but like it's given off this impression, and I did add a couple sentences here and there and stuff, and then kind of just talked the students through the changes I made and made sure they were okay with it and stuff. And then, yeah, that was that. We went through a few drafts of that before that got submitted. But with the way the contest works, so it's the end of August that we submitted their written drafts, and we wouldn't find out until mid-September if they got in. And then the finals, the actual speech, was at the end of September, so we kind of had to start practicing speech giving straight away, whether they would get into the contest or not. So good like 2 or 3 times a week after school, I'd be sitting with them, going through it, kind of hounding them for pronunciation mostly. I've never trained anyone for a speech before, so I didn't really know what to focus on or what, but basically I figured, at least if I was judging a contest, and I knew there would be some ALTs on the judging panel, for me one of the biggest things would be pronunciation, because every time I hear a student make the classic mistakes of adding extra vowels to the ends of words or mixing up L and R and stuff like that, I'm just like, ugh. So my focus with the students was getting their pronunciation right, and there was definitely like weeks when they made no progress, and then times when we just kind of hit a breakthrough and then they never made that mistake again going on. I found what helped was thinking about like the difficult sounds, is finding examples of words that they can make that sound in, to compare, and also just describing to them exactly what position their tongue should be in when that sound is made and stuff. But anyway, we made a lot of progress. In the last 2 weeks I was probably seeing them every single day after school, staying over an hour after school sometimes to help them, and I had no problems with it. And then eventually we found out they got in. Then we went to the finals, the actual contest. It was a Saturday, and I'm not gonna lie, I knew 100% my kids were not gonna win, and it is through no fault of their own. They tried so hard, they did an excellent job on the day, I was so proud of them. But one of the schools that competes in the Hyogo area speech contest is an international school, and a lot of the students there are already fluent in English or have better English than Japanese. And to me, and pretty much everyone, we all know this, all the ALTs, all the JTEs I speak to, we all know it's not fair. They win every year because they fluent. Like, of course they're gonna win. But I had read all of the entries, speeches beforehand, and actually there were some which were really not great. Like, there was one I felt really bad for because it was literally just one paragraph filled with grammar and spelling mistakes, and I just felt bad for this student, whoever it was, because I was like, no one even tried to help you, did they? Like, either you entered of your own accord without telling anyone, or the ALT at that school and JTs or whatever just didn't care. Because, like, if I had seen that, like, I would never let a student enter that. Like, of course they weren't gonna pass. It was not a speech. It was really bizarre. Anyway, there were some that were better than others, but there was two in particular which I read which were phenomenal. Like, I high-key was getting emotional at my desk. One was called, like, Happiness is Not a Number, and it was about growing up in a single-parent family. And the other one was called Invisible Yet Colourful, which was by a student, a Japanese student who's genderqueer, and just kind of talked about their struggle with that. And that was just a fantastic speech, honestly phenomenal. So I rock up to the contest, and the kids all went up one at a time, and they did a great job. They had to memorize their essay, which I think is dumb, because, like, it's a speech contest, not a memorization contest. But, like, whatever, they gotta do what they gotta do. And they can have the speech in front of them, but if they look at it, then they're gonna have points deducted. And then there was only one kid, I think, which actually had to look at their speech, and there was a few who paused for a couple seconds, but everyone did a great job. And I was so happy with how my kids did. And in the end, we did really well, I think. We didn't win, of course. It was actually the kid who wrote the genderqueer speech who won, and I was honestly so happy with that because his delivery was amazing, and I was just like, you know what, kid, like, you should have won. He deserved that. But yeah, no, it was actually a really great experience. I actually really enjoyed it, and it was really rewarding to see all of the work that those kids had put in, because a lot of the time when I'm teaching in class and I only see each class of 20 kids once a week, it's like, yeah, they make progress, but the amount of progress they make, because when you're teaching 20 kids at once, you can't focus on any individual. You have to teach quite basic stuff so that everyone can keep up in things, and the progress you see just is never... It's cool, but it's not the same as working closely with a few students and really helping them and fully seeing how much they improve. That was a really great experience. So what else is going on? I booked flights to Korea for later this month. I think I'm going in like 2 or 3 weeks. Because literally it was, I think the total, after I booked, and you go through all the bullshit stuff that the flight companies make you go through when you're booking tickets, all those extra fees, the total came to about 11,000 yen, which is literally probably between 70 and 80 British pounds for a return flight to Korea. And I was just like, yes, oh my god, yes. So that's gonna be fun. I'm going with Courtney and Tanya and a few other people. It'll be nice to go back when it's not winter and I'm literally too scared to take my hands out of my pockets. It's so cold. What else can I talk about? Oh, also, my friend Carmina, she started her own YouTube channel. So if you are vegan in Japan, or you're coming to Japan soon and you're worried because you are vegan or anything like that, go check out her channel. It's called Create with Carmina, and she basically, I mean, if you've not guessed already, she talks a lot about being vegan in Japan. She'll like show you easy vegan recipes with Japanese ingredients and common snacks and stuff you can buy from supermarkets that are vegan, and different restaurants and stuff in Osaka which are vegan and stuff like that. So yeah, go check it out. I'll link it below. Hashtag not sponsored. Although, Carmina, if you want to sponsor your buddy, I'm here for you. I talked about speech contests for a long time, so maybe I'll leave it at that. Okay, bye. I know you